Did you know there are more than 62 million mobile phones in Kenya, more devices than people? Now, we know these gadgets won't last forever and at some point need to be disposed of. Have you ever thought of what to do with your old phone or what happens to it when you decide to throw it away? Well, it's become a business for those in the electronic waste management space. They take old phones, household appliances or computers and literally turn your waste into their treasure. Our very own Victoria Rubadiri was in Germany recently and saw for herself how they have managed to change attitudes around e-waste management. And she also paid a local initiative a visit to get a sense of the work happening here on Kenyan soil. Take a look.
Old motherboards, CDs, even laptops. Devices that have reached their end of life find their way here to this recycling and reuse center in Frankfurt, Germany. So this is literally where all the action happens. When your old device is brought into this particular area, they dismantle it and look for any precious metals or elements. So some extraction happens here, while for others that may have some harmful chemicals, that happens at a third party. The once useful appliances reduced to scrap. But look closely and you'll notice one man's trash is another man's treasure.
We're getting an average of 100 tons of e-waste each month, with the e-waste coming only from the city of Frankfurt. This amount fluctuates in volume and fractions of e-waste. During COVID-19 times, we got higher amounts because people cleaned out their homes. Nowadays, it is a bit less, but steady. Increasingly, we are also getting e-waste from commercial users, not only private individuals.
It took some time, though, before residents of the city of Frankfurt could appreciate the work done here at GWR. In the past, people would simply dump their old fridge or TV on the street. The awareness is more than just having a place to dump old electronics, and more about how those old devices are handled. Many have harmful chemicals that can damage the environment.
Oftentimes, we are dealing with hazardous materials. For example, machines that contain capacitors, which is also a big problem. Batteries, especially lithium batteries, posing fire hazard. In this case, our job is to dismantle these hazardous machines into parts, so to enable a risk-free handling and recycling in the following process. But we also do that, of course, to extract valuable raw materials from these machines.
It's hard to believe that the hill behind me wasn't there 40 or 50 years ago. You know, it stands as a monument, a reminder, if you will, to this community of the levels that waste can get if you don't manage it responsibly. Now, they've managed to do that over the last couple of years, and the Recycle Reuse Center that exists here is a testament to that. It's a lesson to those of us in Kenya that if we don't manage our waste responsibly or quick enough, we could have an issue of the hill right behind me. It's a legacy of Germany's industrial culture that groups like the E-Waste Initiative Kenya, or EWIC, are not willing to replicate here in Kenya, even as the country strives to further industrialize. Here at EWIC, nestled in Kiambu County, they receive old electronics from household appliances to even security and military equipment. They are dismantled and some parts reused, resold or disposed of responsibly. But the biggest business is in the extracted metals like copper, steel, aluminum, silver, or even gold found in old motherboards. This motor from an old printer, for instance, can be resold from anywhere between 350 to 2,000 shillings. Thuo started the center back in 2011 after his business of supplying electronics to companies started to slow down.
Back then, computers were a bit expensive, so we would speak to our corporate clients to allow us have their computers, refurbish them, and then sell it to the secondary market. But they could not work for so long. Then came the problem when we we had also a lot of dead materials and unusable computers and electronics within our workshops, and our spaces were getting full. That is when we decided, then if we cannot be able to consume this, what can we do?
And from there, Thor saw a market to recycle and find uses for some of the valuable components of old electronics. But beyond that, he saw an opportunity to educate Kenyans on how to dispose of their electronic waste. Their sensitization in various counties revealing a gap in e-waste management.
And many people have no idea what gadgets are supposed to be done at their end of life. Some will tell you they throw them in the toilet. Others will give to their house girls. Others will even burn them. Others are still storing them, hoping that someday they are going to get some value out of it.
One major negative effect to the environment is the burning of e-waste that results in the discharge of toxic compounds like lead or mercury into the air. The risk of such poisonous substances seeping into the groundwater and soil can lead to respiratory issues and other health dangers. eWeek also trains unemployed youth in e-waste management, identifying the valuable parts of old electronics like this CPU is part of it.
We have the motherboard. In the motherboard, we have the southern bridge.
They have trained hundreds, some of whom have gone on to start their own repair shops or e-waste management outfits. Thor hopes they will be the center's ambassadors and spread the e-waste management gospel as they seek to change attitudes and spare the environment the dangers that sit in our old devices. Victoria Rubadiri, Citizen TV.